Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another podcast. My name is Jesse James, and this is Double Trouble 361. That's right, bitches. We all back. How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing it and doing it well. And of course, you know my co-host, Jamie.
Hi, guys.
It's always like that with you. You know, we always like. We've already discussed this. Like, you have no personality on the podcast, I think.
I do. I just not in my intro. I mean, they know who the hell I am already.
It's so bland, though. It's just like, hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
Oh, my God. Fine, then. Since he wants to be a bitch about it. Hey, out there. All you listeners. Welcome to another Double Trouble 361 podcast.
Yes.
Your beautiful, feminine feature on this podcast.
Oh, I think you
and
should.
Co-host.
You're so sweet.
Not you.
Hong Kong.
And co-host is here today. Miss Black Cat is back in the building too.
Your boobs get bigger every single time. Why is that?
Every time I come over here, he's just in them.
They just get. I don't know.
Anyways, back to serenade the ears of the people of the city by the sparkling sea. Yes, there.
What are those?
Sexy
Green
intro.
and brown.
It does look nasty, but yeah.
I wouldn't call it that sexy though. But anyway, so we're actually going to be doing another podcast. We're going to be getting into some trouble. We might get some people riled up and stirred up on this podcast.
Yes, this is going to be a 2-part podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. I'm actually kind of excited because we're going to talk about this. Just happened just recently, just like a few days ago, and it was this past weekend. It was a guy who went into Whiskey River. He had full makeup on. The makeup really did look nice. I mean, legit. And I knew exactly what he was doing with his makeup and blending and putting on his eyebrows and everything. So, which was pretty cool. And then he went to Whiskey River for whatever reason, and Whiskey River didn't let him in. Well, the bouncers didn't let him in because the dress code policy was basically states that guys can't wear no makeup. You have to look exactly like your ID or driver's license. And let's face it, a lot of us don't look like our driver's license or ID.
No,
we either gain weight, we lose weight, we gain facial hair.
Dye hair.
Exactly. So
basically he had to adhere to his quote unquote gender.
So that goes to the whole thing of being assholes. But there was a lot of mixed reviews on this. A lot of mixed reviews on this. Like,
it comes down to what the two ending reviews were. One side, which is my side, is it's bullshit. The other side was, well, Whiskey River is a sucky club, and if he didn't want to go there, and he shouldn't have gone there anyway, and there's plenty of gay clubs out there, and it's a private business, so they make the rules. Was the other side.
Wouldn't that, do they really have to go to the gay club just to feel comfortable in their own skin?
Apparently they do, and that's like something that I want to address in this podcast. Like, why is that?
I don't know. Look, you have an establishment. It's Whiskey Rivers, and Whiskey Rivers.
And let's be clear about Whiskey River. This is not the first time this has happened with something like this.
No, it hasn't. It's happened a few times with them, actually. Whiskey River is a country club, if you would.
Basically, it encourages people who are dressed Western or either kind of sort of hillbilly-ish or kind of redneckish. So if you don't look like one of those things, don't go into Whiskey River. Pretty much.
So, it's interesting to say the least because it's something that you don't expect from Whiskey Rivers. No, scratch that, reverse it. It's something that you can expect from Whiskey Rivers. Mm-hmm. I've heard stories from them as far as, friends who go in there, they can't have piercings, they can't look gothy.
No face tattoos.
No face tattoos. Apparently, there's also another one called Club Pier. If you have tattoos all over your body, they have to be covered up.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So, clubs do have their own dress code. That's a given. Some want to look professional, look nice. If you're there to mingle, you need to look presentable. Understandable, right?
Yeah.
I
honestly feel with most clubs it should be that if you're dressed presentable, which he was. He had on a button-down shirt and pants.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we saw the pictures. He did look nice. Mm-hmm. He was wearing plaid?
He was wearing a plaid shirt and pants.
Yeah, exactly. So it looked really nice. The only thing they were giving him big old grief about was just
wearing makeup.
Like, and let's be clear, plenty of guys who wear makeup.
Exactly. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Makeup is not expressively female. Everyone can wear makeup. Men just don't do it because they have been shamed into thinking that it's a girly thing to wear makeup or want to get dolled up and be pretty when it's not. Actors wear makeup. Some of these actors that you see out here, Like if you see them in real life, they look like shit. That's because they're wearing makeup and they're men.
Exactly.
Also, people who do theatrics and costumes, we wear makeup all the time. Male, female, doesn't matter.
But a lot of people are going to be like, well, shouldn't that just be for people who are actors or actresses? I mean, because we see a lot of people on YouTube who are guys. Manny's one of them. There's a few kids out there who are young adults who play with makeups as well. And they're saying, oh, well, they're just YouTube sensations. No, they wear makeup outside every day. And eyeliner, everything.
They didn't get to that level of slayage without like working on it every day.
Yeah, I mean, this guy did a fantastic job on his makeup, though, but he was not allowed to get in, like
without wiping it off first.
Right, and
makeup is expensive, ladies and gentlemen. That's wrong.
It is expensive.
That was at least $10.
But a lot of people were like, well, he's just being a crybaby, being a big old crying little bitch. His feelings were hurt. The club has morals and standards. It's not a gay club; it's a country club. This is for straight people or whatever, and if people are going into that particular establishment, I'm not going to go in there at all.
But what they
whatsoever.
tried to say, and this is probably so they didn't get their ass fried by the press, is that it had nothing to do with the fact that he was gay and that they don't discriminate against having gay guys in there. So then what was the whole point with the makeup? What I'm trying to get at is that it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But there are people that, what I just said earlier, that they are condemning this guy. Which I can understand. Club dress codes, attire, you have to wear. Don't come in looking like a biker. It's not a biker club, because there are places that are designated for certain people, for bikers, goths, I don't know, whatever. So you can kind of relax and dress down a bit or whatever. But in the establishment, I believe that they were dressed nice. They looked good. They didn't look nothing bad. The only thing they got him was for his makeup. Mm-hmm. A guy who was wearing makeup. Now, I don't know if he's gay or not. I think he is. I'm not sure. I don't want to start rumors or anything. But if he isn't and he just wears makeup, well, okay, well, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I know straight men who just wear makeup just for S's and G's.
But just for the heck of it.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to be gay to wear makeup. No. So.
Nor do you have to be female.
No, I mean, come on. A lot of celebrities do it. They do it every single day. Mm-hmm. So I don't see a problem with it. Just let him in, I think, at least. Just let... I say let the guy in. I
feel like if they're not basically dressed sloppily with their pants below their asses or like all other kinds of, just like gangbanger stuff or like inappropriate things on their shirts and, things like that, it should be no problem to let anyone in anywhere.
Well, rather of what their status is.
That doesn't even matter. Like, you're not going to question everybody at the door if they're gay or not.
So how do you feel about them protesting now? They're going to protest, I think, Whiskey River, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's tonight or this weekend. I'm not entirely sure.
As far as, I don't know, what are they going to do? Stand out there and put signs or what?
As far as I know, yeah, they're going to...
I don't feel it should take it to that... not that it should be like an all-day thing. I feel like they should have some news coverage about it for maybe a couple hours, and then after that, just let it go, because obviously the owner is not going to budge on what his judgment was, and the bouncer isn't either, and he's going to back him for his job, so...
Well, here's the thing. I'm not mean to cut you off, is this, because I've seen a pattern in the LGBT community, and this is what I see. Okay, do you remember, I'm not sure, a few years back, or maybe a few months back, I'm not entirely sure, there was this whole thing where two gay guys that were going to get married, they went into a bakery establishment. Mm-hmm. The bakery establishment said that, I'm not going to serve, I don't cater or host to anybody LGBTQ. So they got mad and they got livid because they didn't host them. This was that whole thing where the bill went through where you can't discriminate against anybody or whatever. Mm-hmm. So this is probably about a few years back, and they took it through the media. People were doing it. They even took him to court for discrimination. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it should go that far for any kind of establishment or business.
No, it shouldn't. But I do believe that it should have community awareness.
Yeah.
Like, basically boycotting Whiskey River for anyone who is trans or gay or whatever, who likes to wear makeup that's a man. That should happen. Like, they don't deserve your business. If they're not going to respect you for who you are, then they don't deserve your business.
Yeah, that I get. But the
thing about that is, it's kind of like how church and stay out of school. It's the thing where the private businesses can discriminate against it if they feel like it, and that's something that we can't change unless we were to change the entire
bill or
whatever. Whatever it is that protects that from happening.
I don't think it should go that technically far. Yes, you can boycott it would hurt their business, I think, to say the least, though. But Corpus does have a lot of straight.
A lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, a lot of catching up to do. They do have a lot of straight people who are willing to support the bar or the establishment itself. So I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, you can voice your opinion about it all day, every day if you want.
It's not. The only Whiskey River should have been closed down a long time ago because of the whole asshole manager thing, because he's been a butthole since the beginning of time.
But if he's making money.
And the only reason why it survives is because it's a country bar in Texas.
Well, they're not the only country bar in Texas, though.
Yeah, it's a country bar in Texas. That's the reason why it survives. I'm not saying it's the only one, not even the only one in the city. There's like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
No, that's the only reason why it survives, because it's the biggest one. Mm-hmm. And like it still doesn't do as good on a weekend as like Roper's or something, because Roper's doesn't discriminate as highly as Whiskey River does. But that's the only reason why it's afloat.
Exactly. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I say if you want to boycott it, if you want to protest outside, you know what? Do what you got to do. Do what makes you feel better at the end of the day. Do I feel that you should have to? No, I just say take your business elsewhere. It doesn't always have to be Whiskey River. It could always be other bars that are more welcoming and more friendly to people who are LGBT or anybody who's wanting to wear makeup, especially a guy, or, you know, who doesn't mind bringing anybody or everybody. And it's an open club to everybody, not just strictly to one place. Yeah, we do have gay bars that are, you know, for gay men.
And that's the problem that we faced here a lot. We have the Hidden Door and we have, what is it now?
Club Iconic.
Iconic. Those are the 2 gay bars here. And I haven't seen, except for my brother's bar, which is Club Ego, where there's a middle ground for it. Either you have to be gay and go in there, and then like people are like, well, straight people don't feel comfortable in here. Or if you're gay and you're going to a straight club, it's like, oh, gay people don't feel comfortable in here. Well, I don't know why people have made it that way, but it needs to stop, honestly. Like,
look, if you're going to go into a gay bar, okay, let's not call it a gay bar, because when I think gay bar, I just think it's just for men. Let's talk about it. It's an LGBT bar. It's an open bar for the public. You know, it's not just strictly for just gay people. Mm-hmm. But if a straight couple or a straight person, individual, is willing to go in there and sit down and have a drink without anybody trying to hit, because nobody's not going to go and hit on you. Oh, fresh meat. There are some guys.
There's some guys that are like kind of slutty like that. Yeah, but like no.
But you know, all you have to do is just say no. Hey, I'm not into it. If you can't respect me, let the nearest bartender know, or let security know. Like, hey, I'm just here to kind of drink, and you know, I kind of have this guy all over my nuts. You know, and I just want to be kind of just left alone, type of deal. You know. So, what do you think? You think that would be more beneficial than versus having to just go and making a big ordeal about it?
Honestly, I feel like they can protest as much as they want to. Like, that's within their freedom of speech, and rights, just like it was the right for them to kick him out of that club or not let him in because of makeup. But it's not going to do. It's not going to do
anything.
Do what they want it to do. But I'm saying, it does need coverage. It does need to be talked about because it was absolute and utter bullshit.
It should get the publicity.
I'm only
discrimination.
50% with the boycott because I know what they're trying to do, but they're not going to accomplish it.
Well, guys, that's part 1 of our podcast, and let's see how that works out and tell us what you think.
Part 2, we will actually be having the person that we were speaking of in question on our podcast. So we may be doing either a phone interview, we may travel to Kingsville, he may come visit us. We don't know yet, but he's going to be on here. Well, we're determined.
Well, hopefully he's listening to the podcast, man. We support you. You are a good guy, and hopefully you can answer a lot of our questions for us on this podcast, and I do appreciate that. And again, Jamie, thank you for always coming, man. Here, we got to hang out more often.
We do.
So I can squeeze your boobies. Anywho.
He molests me.
I do not.
Yes, he does.
We don't support molestation.
Somebody else just witnessed it, so now I'm not the only. Actually, his boyfriend knows, too.
Yeah, so there's... Yeah. Your friends know, too. I did in front of your friends, too.
Oh, that's right. Elmira knows, too. See? I'm not crazy. I have witnesses.
I didn't molest you. You can't molest the willing. So, exactly. Yeah, I put you in your place, bitch. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That's our podcast, Double Trouble 361. I am Jesse James.
And I'm Jamie.
So dull. Bye, guys.
Bye.